Today we are going to take a look at the SM41 Prime Operative for Sawbones. I have this card in Cobalt. Fragment Cobalt is a really awesome card, looks great, but is it any good? We're going to figure that out in this video. The SM41 features Potent Packs, Drilled and Bomb Squad, which are three really strong augments in my opinion, though pretty much all of the Gen 2 cards have strong augments. For the weapons, it has the SMG9, the M9, as well as the Backhill Combat Knife. So this is one of three cards with the SMG9. The other two options for Sawbones are the Crutchney as well as the Blishlock. I used to think that the SMG9 was kind of a mixture between the Blishlock and the Crutchney, but looking at the stats right now, the Crutchney and the SMG9 are almost identical, and actually the Crutchney is better in every single way, albeit just a little bit. Actually the recoil is a little bit stronger, though I think that for most people that won't really be an issue. Personally, I do prefer the Blishlock just because of its insane power, but I feel like the SMG9 is a really all-round gun, good for long range but also pretty good for short range or close quarter combat. So on to the stats of the SMG9. The SMG9 deals 12 damage and 24 for a headshot. That's actually quite low for normal assault rifles, but it is decent for SMGs. It has a rate of fire of 620 RPM, which is also pretty average, a little bit faster than most assault rifles. The reload time, however, is 1.9 seconds, so it's definitely a little bit faster than most assault rifles. The magazine size is 40 rounds, which is definitely a really nice perk of this gun, though also the Crutchney has a 40 round magazine. The range is 18 meters, which is totally average for all of the SMGs. And then finally the recoil is quite light. The damage per second is 124, which is totally in the middle of both the Blishlock and the Crutchney, which deal 120 and 130 respectively. So on to the M9 pistol. The M9 pistol deals 15 damage for a body shot and 30 for a headshot, so it deals more damage than your primary. The rate of fire is quite high with 451 rounds per minute. The reload time is insanely fast with just 1.3 seconds, and the magazine size is extremely big with 15 rounds. The range is 14 meters, which is actually quite low. Actually it is the lowest of all of the pistols. And the damage per second is just 112.8, which is quite average for pistols, and the recoil is light. Running speed is 97.5%, and I forgot to say the running speed of the SMG9, which is just 90%. Again, average for the SMGs, and it's a little bit faster than the assault rifles, which have 82.5%. And finally we have the Backhill Combat Knife, which has a running speed of 100%. The damage for a left click is 40 and the damage for a right click is 80. Again, this is really average for all of the melees. You have the Stiletto, which is really low, and you have both the Crickery and the Cricket Bat, which are a lot higher damage but a lot slower. So I've said it basically with every single weapon. The weapons available for this card are all really average, and that's, I think, the card itself is just a really mediocre average card, but we still have the augments left, which I think are definitely the meat and potatoes of this card. So first of all, we have Potent Packs, 20% increase to the health regen rate given by the healing abilities, which is definitely really great, since it does take a little bit of time for the actual health packs to give their health, unlike Sparks' health packs. Secondly, we have Drilled, 20% reduction of the reload time, which is definitely, like I said in the previous episode, a great perk to have on every single card. So Drilled on this card doesn't do as much as it would do on other cards, since both the reload speed of the SMG9 and the M9 are already incredibly fast, but shaving off every millisecond counts, especially in Dirty Bomb, so it is a really awesome perk to have. Definitely not a waste of an augment there. And finally we have Bomb Squad, adds a more vivid highlight to enemy proximity mines and deployed explosives. So again, a really solid augment, and you will see in the gameplay in the back that I quite love this perk, and it did save my life quite a number of times. I would say Bomb Squad is also really great if you are playing ranked, since you are probably communicating with your teammates anyways and can call out the enemy mines. And also a great tip is, if you see a mine, please, for the love of God, for your team, just shoot it down. Even though if you are not in range, just shoot it, that will mean that your teammates won't step into it. So the roundup then, like I said, I think the weapons overall are just average. I personally prefer the Blishlock just because of its insane headshot damage. The M9 pistol definitely is a really good secondary. 15 rounds in the magazine saves me a lot of times because I miss a lot, and the damage is still quite high with 30 damage for a headshot. Backhill Combat Knife, always great. Run speed is 100%, and knifing, honestly, I don't really do it too often, so I don't mind the average damage. Also worth pointing out, if you have decent aim and you can control recoil fairly good, it's probably better with going for the Crutchney. The Crutchney has the same damage, though it does fire 30 rounds a minute faster. Magazine size is the same. Range is also the same, but it does have a little bit more recoil. but the overall damage per second is slightly higher, so you're probably better off using the grudge knee. But again, this is really more personal preference. If you are good at controlling recoil, the grudge knee is probably just slightly better. Besides, they will change the audio, so that will be a really awesome gun with the new sound. I think this is a really great card. Not the best for Sawbones, though I think from the SMG9 cards it is just slightly better than the SM42, which has get up and extra supplies but also untrackable. If it didn't have untrackable but for instance Bomb Squad or Drill, that definitely would have been the best card. I think it's more up to personal preference. I really like this card. I hope you guys like this episode. Let me know which card you want to see in the next episode. Do leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.